Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at soundwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 40 podcast platforms heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and we're now heard on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds Radio, Oldies FM, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, and more. Makes great gifts 24/7. Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also cool merchandise like T-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases, pop sockets, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's with American band, toured and opened for Def Leppard, Blue Oyster Cult, Poison, Eric Clapton, Billy Idol for over 40 years. We'll talk about this legendary group. And there's a new documentary out there which follows the story of an amazing band and singer-songwriter of a terrific gentleman spanning 4 decades from the 80s Sunset Trip into the 90s Stadium Rock tours to shows today, and also released 8 albums, 9 movies, including a Disney flick. And also his work has been featured in a number of films as well, too, and worked with a number of legends as well. And he's also got a brand new song out called Sky is Falling from Falling Higher soundtrack, and also a couple movies that's coming out as well. And this guy's been really busy. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studio somewhere in the West Coast, the amazing member and founder of the group Ampage, and also he's also done some amazing solo work. Ladies and gentlemen, American singer, songwriter, and leader of Ampage, Mark Mason. Mark, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Michael. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. It looks like you're chilling out there somewhere on the West Coast. You've been pretty busy lately too. Your group Ampage toured and opened for Def Leppard, Blue Oyster Cult, Poison, Eric Clapton, Billy Idol for over 40 years. And the new documentary follows the story of your group Ampage from the 80s Sunset Strip to 90s Stadium tour, and also to today as well. And also that also follows you as well, too, as a singer-songwriter. You guys have released 8 albums and 9 movies, including Disney's Brink. And you also had your work featured in I'm Dangerous Tonight, Bikini Summer 2. Also, Mortal Fear, and more. You collaborate with Tommy Shaw, some Styx, and songwriter Wes Arkin from Guns N' Roses. You had a number of releases, and you've got some works too, including the song Sky is Falling from the Falling Higher soundtrack. Also, an upcoming movie in 2021. You guys been really at it as well too. You're very just basically just hard working. Before getting to all that, Mark, tell us how you first got started.
My dad was a guitarist and guitar teacher in Pasadena. My mom was a creative writing teacher. So if you put them together, you get songwriter, musician. So.
Too natural, isn't it?
Yeah. So I could do one thing and make them both happy. So.
Mm-hmm. And of course, what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Well, funny enough, I used to do sports. I was a runner, and I wanted to go to the Olympics, and I kept getting injured, and I'd have to get surgeries. I'd have to learn how to walk again. And by the 3rd time I had to learn how to walk again, I was like, all right, where's my guitar? I think I'm gonna be a rock star. It's like, forget it. But yeah, we did shows back in elementary school. We had a band. And I just loved it from day one. I loved songwriting, and I love performing. So those are my two passions.
Interesting. And who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
Dad would always be playing Creedence Clearwater Revival, Bachman Turner Overdrive, and actually we just did a show with Randy Bachman.
Wow.
Of course, Beatles and Stones and Mott the Hoople, Sweet, just pretty much everything. So I just love all kinds of musics. And if you listen to my albums over the years, there's a lot of different, it varies from album to album. It's not, some bands they'll maybe get a hit album in their 80s and it'll be like this metal, great metal album or something, and then the rest of their albums are all metal sounding, and we're kind of different that way. Where yes, we had an 80s album that was a metal album, and then in the 90s we brought in some alternative guitarists and keyboard players and did a couple albums like that. Just a lot of different guys. We brought in Earl Slick from Lennon and McCartney, from Lennon and David Bowie. He was with the band for about a year, and it just varies. Rick Allen from Def Leppard, he played on a couple of our albums and did some shows with us also, and of course we opened up for them, so that was great.
That's rather interesting as well, too. And of all the bands that you opened for, which band you really enjoyed opening up for, and why?
I'd say Def Leppard for sure. We were on tour, and we were supposed to open up for them, and we were supposed to be in Puerto Rico opening up for them, and we got stuck in a snowstorm in Albuquerque.
Oh no!
And, yeah, so we're on the tour bus, and I mean, just thousands of cars. I never seen anything like it. I didn't know this stuff existed. I'm not from the snow, so we were just sitting there with thousands of other cars trapped, and people knocking on the tour bus, asking if they use the bathroom, and things like that. And by the time we got dug out, the highway patrol there got us out and got us to the Dallas airport, and we flew to Puerto Rico. We were there probably 2 hours before we were supposed to go on stage.
Wow.
And Def Leppard, they sent their tour manager, picked us up. We couldn't bring any of our equipment because it was back at the bus. And they're like, just use our equipment, So, they got 18 Marshall stacks and they've got everything. So, and you got to understand, most bands that you're opening up for don't like you to even be on the same stage as them, let alone using their equipment. And so Def Leppard, those guys are probably the nicest, best hosts. And just, great musicians, songwriters for sure, but it was just great. It was so much fun, and their audience was awesome. And it was great. The Puerto Rican people are awesome. It was about a 20,000 seater that night. So it was just great. It was a great experience.
And it sounded like it as well, too. And of course, you also had your own music. We'll talk about that along with your upcoming, projects as well, too. But first, to listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusioned and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, also cool merchandise and more. Amazon.com/Mia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com for the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the amazing singer, songwriter, and leader of Ampage, Mark Mason, here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about how his band toured over 40 years, opening for Def Leppard, Blue Oyster Cult, Poison, Eric Clapton, Billy Idol, and more. And of course, also released 8 albums and 9 movies to date, including Disney Sprinkle. We'll talk about that. You had some releases as well, too. You had Champagne and Caviar, Iron Horse, Falling Higher, Future Days Gone By, and Iron Man Sam, and Don't Shoot the Wounded, Bridge of Souls, Rock 2018, and more. Tell us how you first got started with Ampage and how you guys came all together.
It started in high school. 3 of us got together, and back then I was just the bass player, and we had a lead vocalist join the band. So that was a 4-piece band at that point. And we were together for only about a year or so, never recording any albums. And then, I don't know, maybe a couple years later, I ended up in Hollywood and kind of re-put together the new Ampage back then. And that's when we signed with Ironworks Records and did the Champagne Caviar album. We had been doing some shows. I think we're at the Stone in San Francisco, and this guy came up to us after the show. It turns out it's Mitch Mitchell, the drummer from Jimi Hendrix.
Huh.
And he's, yo, Magic, you guys are magic. I want to work with you. I didn't know.
I want to work with you.
Yeah, I want to work with you. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I don't know who you are, but but my drummer knew who he was, and my drummer was just like, oh my God. So we ended up partying with them that night. We went back to our hotel room, and then we got kicked out of our hotel room, which wasn't unusual at the time.
What the heck did you do that pissed them off? I guess that's a question.
It was the 80s, baby. So anyways, Mitch put us up at his hotel for the whole band, took care of all of it. And we hung with him for a few days. Then he came down to Hollywood and stayed with us and helped us work on the new album. And it was great. It's a really nice guy. And it was a lot of fun. It was great.
Mm-hmm. You had mentioned about Champagne and Caviar and some of your other works. You also had Rolling Dogs of Thunder, Don't Shoot the Wounded. And tell us about some of the albums you put out and what inspired you to write them.
Yeah, I mean, for singles like Rolling Dogs of Thunder, I had some surgery done. I was in bed for about 6 months recovering. So I started watching Sons of Anarchy.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, 100 episodes. I watched the Sons of Anarchy, and I just never liked the beginning song, and I'm sorry if the guys listening that wrote that, but I didn't like it.
What are the chances he is, though? That's the thing.
Oh, man. So anyways, I just thought I'd try and write something, and so I wrote a song about a fictitious motorcycle club, and I call them Rolling Dogs of Thunder, and that's kind of where that song came from. When we were shooting the music video for that up in Point Arena, we had the drones going, and a lot of the local motorcycle riders, wanted to be in the video. So after we were done shooting the video, they were like, dude, this should be like a real club. And so we ended up, this fictitious club became a real club now. So it was fun. It's a good time.
And it sounded like it as well, too, that you also had Rock 2018, Future Days Gone By, and, just more as well, too. And also you had featured in the movie Disney's Brink as well, too. And tell us about that and how'd you get hooked up with Disney?
That my publisher kept trying. Well, my publisher was getting us in a lot of different movies like Mortal Fear, I'm Dangerous Tonight, some other stuff. And I wanted to do a Disney movie. So I found who the, not the way you're supposed to do it, but I found out who the music editor or the music supervisor was for Disney. And so I just started calling him every single day. And, the secretary wouldn't put me through. So I'd call every day. After 2 months of me calling every day, she finally put me through to the supervisor, and she goes, "All right, this is the Mark Mason that's been calling me every single day for 2 months. You got 30 seconds to explain why I don't need to hang up on you right now." And I just said, I work with a lot of musicians, some pretty well known, some not. And we write songs, I like to write the songs for the movie, because usually, at least back then, it was the record companies were pitching their songs from their bands or their albums for a specific movie. And we were kind of doing the opposite. We were actually writing the song for the movie and bringing in the right musicians to give it that vibe. And so she goes, "All right, let me give you a shot. We're working on a movie called Brink." And so I asked what the soundtrack, I said, "What's the temp track you used in this particular scene?" So she tells me the name of the song, and I counted out the beats per minute and started with that, and then basically wrote the whole Brink song around that. And I was there at the studio when they put the song into the movie, and it was like the editors were like, "Oh God, it just fits in there so naturally."
Nice.
And I was just laughing because of course it does, because when they shot the scene, they had the temp music going, and we got the exact beats per minute. So the people, whether the actors know it or not, they're kind of moving to that song. So anyways, that was kind of our little trick of the trade. And it went really well. They ended up using it for the movie. They also used it for the trailer. And they brought me down there. I got to meet everybody at Disney, and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool.
And certainly no Mickey Mouse feet. I have to say that. No Mickey Mouse feet.
No, and actually, what was really cool was at the when our song's playing at the end of the movie, I think after they say their last word, then our song comes right in, and they've got the original 1940s Mickey Mouse dancing to our song, which I just thought was cool as hell. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like, who would have thought Mickey Mouse from the 1940s dancing to your song? I would love that.
That
Might
was
as well
classic.
put in Steamboat Willie or Donald Duck from the 50s or something when Goofy was first drawn. You might as well put them in.
Absolutely. Make it a band.
Oh, there you go. Yes. And there's a lot I can just go off of it. And you also did your own movies as well, too. And you got Falling Higher as well, too, to go with the song Sky is Falling. And tell us more about Falling Higher, speaking of films.
So Falling Higher is a documentary. We've been doing Ampage for 40 years, basically. And I've got I have like all the videos from the 80s and 90s, Sunset Strip days, all the crazy stuff we did. And so I found a documentary guy that I liked and asked him if he'd be interested. His name is Colin Felger. And I basically gave him 900 hours worth of footage from 40 years of Ampage. Yeah. And the poor guy had to sit through all of it and then kind of put together a story from that. It was 40 years of Ampage. It was the 80s Sunset Strip. It was the 90s when there's just a lot of going on. We were signed in 97. We signed with Higher Source Records. And that we were probably about a week from heading out on tour, and those people killed themselves down in San Diego.
Oh, no.
The Heaven's Gate cult, right? Mm-hmm. Well, their subsidiary company for Heaven's Gate was Higher Source. So next thing you know, we got the news media just surrounding our office and our company and our band, and thinking we're part of this, this cult. And so it was crazy. We're a week away from going on tour. The label spent 1.3 million on us at that point, and the record had just hit the stores, and now we're being part of this cult that we had nothing to do with. So I'm on TV with every news organization in the world, wearing my Ampage hat, holding up my Ampage CD, going, "We got nothing to do with this." It's like it was just crazy. It was just crazy. Another thing that happened, 97 was probably one of the wackiest years. We had just got Earl Slick joined the band. Earl Slick was the guitarist for John Lennon and David Bowie. Mm-hmm. And since I got Lennon's guitar player, we figured on that album we'd do a Lennon cover song, which was we ended up with "Give Me Some Truth." And being the lead singer, I tend to change lyrics around a lot, but usually they're my lyrics, so who cares, you know?
Mhm.
And so I changed some of the lyrics as I usually do. The song comes out, and then I get a letter from EMI Publishing New York saying I'm getting sued
Oh,
because
no.
you can't change a John Lennon lyric. It's like a church. You can't do it. Um, and so everyone's yelling at me. The label's pissed off. And I mean, I was impressed that somebody at EMI in New York was listening to lyrics of my song, you know? So,
Oh, my goodness. And I'll bet you John Lennon would be like, who the heck cares?
well, actually, I think it was Slick. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Earl Slick that flew back and played it for Yoko. And Yoko liked my changes, thank God, and said if John was alive, that he would have probably made similar changes. So then I get a letter from EMI Publishing saying that I wrote the song with John Lennon, but for $1, sign all the royalties back to the Lennon estate. So now I got a letter saying I wrote a song with John Lennon. So just saying.
Huh. Oh
So
my
that was
gosh. And as the world turns, I'm sure he can thank Yoko for that. And of course, the story continues as well too. And of course, you got that song of Skies Falling that's written during the pandemic as well too. And tell us more about the song, what inspired you to write it as well too. And of course, some of the things you did during the pandemic, and a lot of musicians actually got a lot accomplished during the pandemic, and of course, you guys as well.
Yeah, we got locked down just like everyone else. Back when COVID started. And I didn't plan on doing another album in this life. I pretty much didn't think I had much more to say, but all of a sudden I had 6 months. So I get up, I got a recording studio at my ranch, and every morning I get up with my coffee, I go downstairs and turn on the machines and see what I come up with. And within like 2 weeks, I had like 15 new songs that I really liked. And that was one of them. The album is actually called Season in Hell. It was released last year. It's doing pretty well, and obviously some of those songs are going to be in the documentary Falling Higher, which is getting released, I believe, this summer. So it's definitely I think it's my best work so far, but I probably say that about all my new albums too. So
Mhm. I was just going to talk about Season in Hell that's come up as well too, and tell us more about the making of it, what inspired and everything like that. And sounds like a Season in Hell, but I mean, I think you struck pay dirt on this one too.
I wanted to write about this whole COVID thing. This is historical. I mean, there's going to be people 50 years in our future reading about what's going on today, and I wanted to kind of get I wanted to write my songs more about what the feeling. I didn't want to use the word pandemic, COVID, any of those words. You won't find any of my songs. I wanted more of the feeling of what was going on during that time. So that's kind of what inspired me for that. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's definitely some of my best work. So
Mhm. And what's the message you wanted to convey to the listeners as well too, with Skies Falling and some of the works as well?
uh, you know, uh, um, I guess I'm feeling fine, and it's okay. It's I mean, I buried 3 or 4 of my close friends from COVID. So Len Fagan over that owned the Cuckoo's Nest, he died of COVID. I mean, we lost a lot of people. And you know, I don't know if I have a message more about. My wife thinks that my songs are more historical. It's like, in other words, you can listen to my '80s songs and that's from the '80s. You can listen to my '90s songs and it's like it captures. I think we were the first band in the '80s. I wrote a song called Versateller Blues that was about. I guess they call them ATMs now. Back then, they were Versatellers. ATMs had just come out.
Oh yes,
And
that's right. It's like those machines where it's like this big, takes so many buttons and all that. Now it's just like a little unit like this. It just requires a chip and just one button. And how much do you want? I want this amount. Bingo, like that.
yeah, so this back in the '80s is when they first came out, and back then they were called Versateller machines. So, obviously I have a song called Versateller Blues. So, so I mean, it's more. It's not trying to say anything more than just kind of a snapshot of that time. Is kind of, I guess, is my songs in a nutshell.
Mhm. And where can we find Season in Hell, Skies Falling, Falling Higher, and all your works at?
Pretty much anywhere, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I mean, everywhere. So um, I get emails from all over the world. I mean, um, so yeah, I guess everywhere basically.
Okay, we'll certainly check those out. What's coming up from Mark Mason of Ampage, we'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Moses of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with singer, songwriter, multi-talented Mark Mason of Ampage after this time out. We're back with the amazing singer-songwriter of Ampage, Mark Mason, here on the Mike Widener Show, and covered a lot of ground and spanning 40 years of Ampage, your amazing career, and more. And what else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Mark?
It's pretty much open. We're finally doing shows again. We had to cancel pretty much all our shows when COVID hit, like everyone else did. And so I haven't been on a stage since 2020, I think the last show we did was either with Vince Neil or Blue Oyster Cult, one of them. But after that, it's, we were able to make a record, and now we've got a show with the Tubes coming up on the 18th in LA, and Reading Rock on the 25th. So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome to be on stage again. Really looking forward to it. I love performing, and I got a great band. I love my band. These guys have been with me 7 or 8 years now. And I wish I had them 20 years ago,
I think many of us do as well, too, the way things are going. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Biggest influence in the career?
Yes.
Oh, man. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. I've got so many influences. It's hard to nail one. Obviously, John Lennon, just so many. I mean, just so many. Again, the songwriting is everything for me, and I try and change moods and everything else with the songs. I think I heard one reporter say my songs were full of wit and cynicism. I mean, that pretty much sums them up, actually. So
it sounds like it's really unique as well, too. I really like that. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Just be real, be yourself, try not to sound, I see a lot of people I know that try and sound like, Pink Floyd, or try and sound like somebody else. And it's like, just, try and sound like you, that's the biggest thing I could say.
Mm-hmm. And certainly a good point as well, too. Once again, we're singer, songwriter, multi-talented Mark Mason of Ampage here on the Mike Widener Show. Mark, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase, check out your works, and especially Sky is Falling, Falling Higher, Season in Hell, and more?
Well, first off, you can start off on going to our website is ampage.com. And that's got contact info. And like I said, I mean, I get emails from kids all around the world. The movie's supposed to be out this summer. Really, really excited about that. I actually just watched the final cut today, actually this morning. So that was interesting. It's weird when it's kind of about you and you kind of relive it all. So it's interesting to watch. The Season of Hell album is doing really good, and I guess we're talking about maybe doing another album too. So just a lot of things going, but definitely want to get more shows going.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to it. Once again, Mark, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all best, and you've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.